viewers, welcome back to the Southman Auto Channel. It's got 2007 Dodge Caliber here, the money light's on, it's got a few codes stored in it, and the red brake light is on, so we're going to be making some videos on this little guy. One of the codes that is in it currently is the P2004. This is a problem that plagues these Dodges, these IMRC valves, intake manifold rudder control valves. It's a little flapper down inside the intake. I would actually have to read the description and operation on it as to its function. You know, I assume it goes from long intake runners to short intake runners when you're giving her full beans perhaps, and squeezes every ounce of horsepower out of that big 2.4 liter. In either case, I really don't care what it does. I know how it works. It's a simple 5-wire circuit. So we have our power and our control, or our ground and our control, however the ECM controls it, and then we just simply have a 3-wire feedback sensor, you know, kind of like a potentiometer, a throttle position sensor, so to speak. So we're going to plug into it with a scan tool. We're going to try to toggle the valve, see if the valve actually works, and if it does, you know, try to duplicate it. There is a TSB on these. They want you to just chuck an intake manifold on it, but first we're going to verify the problem. Want to make sure that our circuit's good and everything works there. There's also a service built-in for a flash programming update after the repair. So after you replace the intake manifold, you have to update the ECM. If you don't, you're not doing half the job. So we'll show that process perhaps in another video. That way this one doesn't get, you know, long and drawn out. So anyhow, we're going to grab a scan tool. We're going to grab some back probes or something here probably, check this little guy out, and see what she's made of. Alright, so the first thing we can do, key on, engine off. We're going to get some data. We'll see if the valve even works. You can usually hear these things smashing back and forth pretty good. There we are, intake manifold, tuner, control state. Now we'll look at the feedback voltage on it, see where it's at. Let's see. Can we change our data list? We got O2 sensors, purge. We can turn on off, custom, we can't change our list. Fuel pump, I'm not overlooking something here, am I? I got a headache and a sinus infection, so I very well could be. Purge generator, blah, blah, auto shutdown. Are you freaking kidding me, Snap-On? This is stupid. So we can turn it on and off, but we can't even look at data that's related to the part we're working on. I'm getting sick of this tool. $10,000 freaking paperweight is all it is. And I just updated it. Got 17.2 update because you get the freaking 17.4 free. Well, they say free. They bang you $1,000, and here we are, trying to look at the intake manifold tuning valve, bidirectional, which we can do, or we can assume it does, but we can't even look at the feedback data for it. I'm telling you guys, if you're looking for a scan tool, don't waste your money on one of these. You can buy 5 Altels for the price of one of these. Let's see, let's hope it has the data. It's going to be our engine data. So there's all of our data lists, but when we're in bidirectional controls, we can't select what data we want to see. Yeah, here we got a list 1.5 miles long. Our flow control valve, position, closed position. Unfreaking believable. Flow control valve. So we got our open position, closed position, and the position it's at right now. So right now it's somewhere between open and closed according to data here. However, thankfully, we've got to get another scan tool because at this point it's just kind of stupid. Alright, plan B. We'll load up the $2,000 Altel, which knocks the doors off Snap-On any day of the week. It's just frustrating as all. Whatever, it just pisses me off. You got her plugged in there, young lady? Yeah. Alright, I gotta wait for it to connect on the Bluetooth here. It just sucks, you know, you spend freaking big bucks on them. There it goes, it disconnected. These stupid scan tools. You get these and they just this work. Well, we assume it works. Almost guarantee it will. Oh, we got an update. What's our update on? Oh, operating system update. Imagine that. Ah, we're gonna pop right into the engine. Needless to say, this pokes around about 30 times faster. Oh, what, active test maybe? Probably not, because that's probably gonna be like evap and stuff like that. VVT, flow control valve. Yes, we want data stream. Oh, look at that. We can pick a custom data list. Imagine that. Just gotta find what we want. But it's always on the last list. Boom. Huh? I'll tell for the win. F1 turns it on, F2 turns it off, F3 toggles this. We're going to toggle it. It's going to talk to it. It is toggling currently, and we see no change. That's all I wanted to see, Snap-on. Fix your crap. Alright, now we're going to go to the valve. We're going to leave it in the toggle position. We're going to test the two wires. I don't know if it's ground side switch or power side switch. At this point, I guess we really don't matter unless we're missing something. Anna seems to think Snap-on should give me my money back for my update because all I do is bitch about it. I doubt that'll happen.
You never know.
Yeah, I won't hold my breath. How's that? Alright, so took the little battery cover off and the little plastic engine cover. Little guy lives right here, so it's pretty easy to get to. As I struggle to get to it, it has the infamous red lock on it. Alright, so get her unplugged. We do have a total of 5 wires. So what we'll do, without a diagram, we've got the handy scope on a rope. This is my modified 780 milliamp one. First thing first, like I said, I don't know if it's ground side switch, but we're just going to go right on battery positive. And we're going to check. So you got your 3 terminals that are side by side. I'm going to assume at this point that's the feedback sensor, and then we got our other 2 wires here. Let's see if one of these is a ground. That one is a full-time ground. So one of the 2 wires is a full-time ground. It lights up our light nice and bright. So that tells us that theoretically, if this is still switching, it should be a power side switch. So we're going to hook the battery negative, and this technically should flash, it should toggle, because that's what our scan tool is telling it to do. And that's what it's doing. So that tells us that the control circuit is good. And the other thing it tells us, which you can't see, but I'm going to show you, is now that we have it unplugged, we have open circuit voltage, so we're at 5 volts. So now that it's at 5 volts, our test light is still hooked to battery negative. We're going to find the signal return wire for that sensor. We're going to touch it, and theoretically it should pull it to 0 volts. I'll set that right there where you can't see it. I'll find the wire, and then we'll move stuff. So it's going to be one of the 3, and it doesn't matter if you touch the wrong one. You can't hurt anything right there. So it's the middle one. And come over here and be a lovely assistant. You're like the man in white of SMA. Hold that up so that people can see it. Closer, closer, closer. Whoa. Okay, so I'm going to touch the signal return wire, and you can see it drops to 0 volts. We undo it, back to 5. That's all we need to know. Bob's your uncle. This thing needs a tuning valve. If indeed it was working, now if it does make you feel better, you can check your 5 volt reference and your ground and stuff there. I suppose we can do that for the people. We know that's good simply because when we were plugged in, it was at 3 point something or other. Let me grab a meter and we'll just check the 5 volt reference and the ground wire. We'll just use our handy dandy digital scope on a rope. We'll check our 5 volt reference. Now these are not high impedance, so our battery voltage is 12.1. So when you check a 5, you got to be careful with these; they'll lead you astray. you check a 5-volt reference, it might say on this like 4.8 or something along those lines. So we're going to probe it, just lightly touch one of those, and it makes a liar out of me because it says, wow, 5 volts right there, 4.9 volts comes right up on the tool. It tells you, so 4.9 volts, we're going to switch to battery positive, and then it should light up green for us. Tell us if our sensor ground is good. Now don't use this for anything other than this. These test lights are, and there we are, negative 12.1 volts, and it lights up green. So 5-volt reference, ground, signal return wire is good. It goes to 5 volts, it goes to 0. Everything is good. It's still in the toggling position. So plug it back in. Click the red lock to make somebody mad. And there's no nothing. Give me a hammer, Hannah. It's hammer time. Oh, I don't care. I'm just using the handle. So we'll see our position right now. It's 3.41. We'll leave it in the toggle position. Actually, we'll switch it to the on position so it's got full beans. It is in the on position. Current position is 3.55 volts. We'll give her a little whack. Position now is 3.79 volts. 3.8, she's going up. Open position in memory is recorded at 4.16. So now we will turn it off. We'll give her a couple little taps here. See if we can get her. It's at 3.74, 3.4, 3.3, 3.1. If we keep hammering away here, she'll go down close. 2.7. Come on, little guy. So it's obviously ultra buckled inside the intake. 2.3. We can just keep bouncing here, man. We're almost closed. 2.1, 2.9, 1.9, 1.8, 1.7. Oh, we're so close. We'll leave it at that. But you can see just by beating on it that our voltage has dropped. Valve's obviously bad. So these are pretty cut and dry, folks. Unless you have a Snap-on scanner, of course, in which case you can turn it on, but you ain't got a clue what it's doing. That's enough about that. No more griping about them. Multi-billion-dollar sold this company. So there you have it, folks. That is diagnosing it. Like I did mention, there is a service bolt-in on these. Got to buy the intake. Intake comes with a valve. What kind of gravy to change? Swap the intake out. But you have to update the ECM. I'm going to put on a separate video. We're going to flash program the ECM naturally after we change the intake and all that stuff. So we're going to move on to bigger, better things now. The red brake light's on. It also has a code for a downstream O2 sensor having a slow response, which, in my opinion, when I drove it in, I think I know what's up. It sounds like it's got a cracked manifold. So that's not super uncommon on these little guys. You start introducing air downstream near the O2 sensor particularly. There's a flexi flange on these, ball joint type. We'll call them muffler bearing for short. They leak, starts letting air in, and rear O2's like a little low, little lazy, like I am when I'm on my medicine. So anyway, that's it. Any questions, comments, concerns about this diagnosing, put them in the comment box below. I don't know if I'll record the procedure on this. We're gonna have to, of course, talk to the customer, order the intake, all that stuff. It's just nuts and bolts at that point anyways. So like I say, any questions, comments, concerns, criticisms, down there in the box below. I'll try to get back to you as time allows. Find us on our socials. Check us out on Patreon if you love what we do and want to support the SMA channel. We do appreciate that, and each and every one of you. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.